On June 28, 1914, a significant event occurred that would have far-reaching consequences. Franz Ferdinand, the heir presumptive to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was assassinated by a Bosnian Serb named Gavrilo Princip. This act of murder is widely regarded as the catalyst that ignited the complex network of European alliances and treaties, leading to the outbreak of the First World War. Franz Ferdinand, prior to his untimely death, held the position of heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He had attained this position through a series of abdications and deaths within the imperial family, which had placed him in a position of great wealth. Despite his wealth, he found himself lacking friends and allies within the empire. Ferdinand was considered an eccentric and impulsive individual, driven more by anger than compassion. He dedicated much of his time to hunting expeditions around the world, boasting a staggering record of having killed and hunted over 250,000 animals. Politically, Ferdinand aligned himself with a form of pragmatic conservatism. While he advocated for a cautious approach in dealing with the diverse ethnic groups within the empire, he often held them in disdain. He regarded Hungarians as unreliable and derogatorily referred to Serbs as pigs. However, despite his personal biases, Ferdinand recognized the importance of unity within the empire and beyond. He aspired to transform the Austro-Hungarian Empire into a tripartite monarchy, incorporating a Slavic kingdom. This vision faced opposition from the Hungarians, who refused to make concessions to the Slavs, as well as from Slavic nationalists who aimed for Slavic unity rather than subordination to another European power. Among the groups opposing Ferdinand's vision was the Black Hand, a Serbian extremist and militant organization. Founded by Serbian military officers in 1911, the Black Hand employed terrorist acts with the goal of liberating Serbs living outside of Serbia, particularly from Austrian and Ottoman rule. The Black Hand, also known as Unity or Death, strongly advocated for the annexation of Bosnia by the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which had taken place in 1908. Although Bosnia was officially under Ottoman control, much of the region was governed by the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This annexation had sparked opposition from Serbia and its main ally, Russia. Both countries objected to the annexation unless it included concessions for the Serbs. However, Austria, backed by Germany, managed to suppress the protests from Serbia and Russia, resulting in lingering resentment between Serbia and Austria-Hungary. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie visited Sarajevo. The couple had observed military maneuvers in the region and planned to attend the opening of a museum, as well as visit a military barracks. Unfortunately, the security arrangements for the Archduke's visit were inadequate. Instead of employing sufficient military personnel, only 60 local police officers were assigned to ensure their safety. Furthermore, the route and itinerary were publicly disclosed. Unbeknownst to the authorities, this information allowed a group of potential assassins to position themselves along the route. 7 Bosnian Serb hitmen, mostly young students trained and armed by the Black Hand, eagerly awaited the motorcade's passage. The first assassin encountered by the motorcade was Muhammad Mehmed Basic. Armed with a bomb, he hesitated to act, fearing intervention from a nearby policeman. Veso Kubrilovic, the youngest among the assassins, was armed with both a pistol and a bomb but also failed to carry out the assassination. It was only when Nedeljko Kabranovic, Veso's older brother, saw the Archduke's car approaching that he decided to launch his attack. Around 10:10 a.m., Kabranovic threw his bomb, which unfortunately missed its target, rebounding off the car's convertible cover and detonating under another vehicle. This explosion injured approximately 20 people but failed to harm the Archduke. In a desperate attempt to evade capture, Kabranovic ingested a cyanide pill and jumped into a nearby river. However, his cyanide pill was expired, resulting in only vomiting, and the river was too shallow to provide an escape. He was apprehended, beaten by the furious crowd, and taken into police custody. To ensure the couple's safety, it was decided that they should travel directly to Sarajevo Hospital, avoiding the crowded city center. Unfortunately, this change in the itinerary was not communicated to the drivers. Consequently, when the Archduke's driver took a wrong turn at the Latin Bridge, the other vehicles in the motorcade followed suit. Coincidentally, Gavrilo Princip had positioned himself near the Latin Bridge, considering it an ideal location to lie in wait. As officials in the motorcade shouted and tried to correct the route, the Archduke's car attempted to reverse. Unfortunately, the car stalled just in front of Princip. Seizing the opportunity, Princip stepped forward, approached the car, and shot the Archduke in the neck and Sophie in the abdomen. Before he could turn the gun on himself, Princip was apprehended. In his final moments, the Archduke's last words to his wife were, "Sophie, don't die. Live for our children." While the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand is commonly viewed as the spark that ignited the First World War, the immediate political consequences were not as straightforward as one might assume. Many initially perceived the assassination as just another murder in the volatile Balkans, unlikely to escalate into a broader European conflict. However, the Austro-Hungarian Empire used the assassination as a pretext to plan an invasion of Serbia, believing that the Serbian government was involved in orchestrating the attack. Austria-Hungary sought reassurances from Germany regarding the fulfillment of their military alliance if an invasion of Serbia occurred. On July 5, 1914, German Kaiser Wilhelm issued what would later be known as the blank check, expressing Germany's commitment to support any military action undertaken by Austria-Hungary against Serbia. Subsequently, on July 23, Austria-Hungary sent an ultimatum to the Serbian government, outlining its demands. Although these demands were considered excessively harsh, evidence soon emerged indicating that the Serbian government had no direct involvement in the assassination. Serbia accepted all but one of the demands, which were deliberately designed to be rejected. However, Serbia's rejection was not directed at Austria but instead sought the involvement of the International Court of Justice in The Hague to handle the legal processes of punishing the responsible individuals. When Germany learned of Serbia's response, including its acceptance of the majority of the demands, many, including Kaiser Wilhelm, believed that war had been averted. The Kaiser even embarked on a 3-week cruise during this period. However, this did not prevent Austria-Hungary from declaring war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. This declaration set off a chain reaction as Austria-Hungary and Serbia mobilized their main allies. Other major European powers pursued different paths. France and Russia, with a strong military alliance, aimed to curtail Germany's expansionist ambitions across Europe. Attempts at mediation between the involved parties failed to produce any fruitful outcomes. Russia, in support of Serbia, deployed its forces along the border with Austria, while Great Britain's position remained uncertain due to the looming threat of an Irish civil war. On August 1, 1914, Germany declared war on Russia after unsuccessful attempts to dissuade Russian involvement. In response, France, on the same day, ordered its own mobilization, leading to a mutual declaration of war between France and Germany on August 3. Germany's plan involved invading France by passing through neutral Belgium, a move that was announced on August 4. Belgium, established as a buffer state between France and Germany after the Battle of Waterloo, aimed to ensure peace in the region. However, Germany's invasion of Belgium triggered Britain's declaration of war on Germany in defense of this fundamental principle of European peace being violated. With most major powers now embroiled in the conflict, the First World War had truly begun. It is crucial to recognize that while Germany's blank check provided the green light for Austrian aggression, Archduke Franz Ferdinand played a significant role in mitigating potential conflicts. Ferdinand vehemently opposed war with Serbia and successfully dissuaded the war-hungry generals on multiple occasions. Unfortunately, with his death, the moderate voice was silenced, and the need to project strength in the face of alleged Serbian aggression gained prominence, ultimately leading to the outbreak of the First World War. While the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand is often regarded as the spark that ignited the tinderbox of European alliances, it is essential to acknowledge the complexity and multifaceted nature of this event. The prevailing belief at the time was that a large-scale war was improbable. Many underestimated the reactions of other European powers, assuming that Russia's military modernization was incomplete, and that Britain would remain neutral, preoccupied with Irish affairs. Furthermore, concessions offered by Serbia were expected to prevent the escalation of the conflict. However, these predictions were proven wrong, and the seemingly reckless actions of individuals plunged the continent, and eventually much of the world, into a catastrophic war with dire consequences both during and after the conflict.